You definitely got that calculation wrong. By
Okay, tell me
building a
how.
data center that trains AI, that provides productivity to the entire nation, we create millions of jobs, high-paying jobs,
So
jobs we
AI
don't
is
even
going to
know.
create jobs? I
Yes,
thought it was going to eliminate
you know,
jobs net.
just think about the new technologies we don't even know yet.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Future News Network. Today we're talking about tax breaks. Tucker grills Mr. Kevin O'Leary over tax breaks. They are taking our money. Corporatism is on the rise. Tucker has a lot to say about it. I'm a bit on two minds about the issue in one way or another. I'm going to chop it up. If you guys like it, hit me with a like and a subscribe. And we're going to hop right into this discussion.
Let me ask, though, about why taxpayers should have to pay for this if it's a private business and your tenants are some of the richest companies in the world. Why would taxpayers be required, as they now are, to subsidize this?
They don't necessarily have to do that. They just won't win any contracts. It's a competition.
But why are you getting tax breaks is my question.
Yeah, everybody, you go back and you say, what incentives can you give us to invest $15 billion in the first 1.5 gigs? That's what it takes. I have to go raise $15 billion.
Well,
That's just
okay, but anyone who starts a business, why should taxpayers have to pony up for that?
It's a good question.
They don't. But
well, of course they do.
Others,
if you're getting a tax break and they're not.
It's under the idea that because you're building these jobs that it will create community, so it is actually a good thing to give tax breaks to big companies that employ a lot of people. You know, they get the taxes from the income tax along the way.
They're making up the difference. There's a state budget.
Okay, that's no problem. That's no problem. I can build it in Texas. I can build it in Jacksonville, Mississippi.
But why?
So his excuse is I can go somewhere else that will make it so that I can do it easier and I can rip off people even more.
If it's such a good business, would you be asking taxpayers to help pay for it without giving them equity in the company? Are you giving taxpayers shares?
That used to be a thing. If you worked at GM, they'd give you a half a point of shares in it or a point of shares in the company or whatnot. Now, if you work for one of these mega corporations, you have no ownership over the company whatsoever. They'll throw you away in a heartbeat.
No, the investors get the shares, but here's why they would do it.
Why would the taxpayers have to?
Well,
I mean, in other words, if you want to start a business, but why am I, as a taxpayer, forced to pay for your business? I don't get it.
Well, let's forget about data centers. Let's go any manufacturing. Let's say you're going to build an aluminum sheet manufacturing facility. Mm-hmm. You go to the government there and say, "Look, this is going to huge capex huge capex expenditure. I'm going to hire 2,000 people. I'm going to build a community center. I'm going to pay a lot of tax on the profits in your state when I sell the aluminum, and I'm going to hire all these people who they will also pay tax."
Well, it's also you offshore a lot of problems that people have when they do not have jobs. Solving the job crisis also solves the other issues that take a burden on the taxpayer basis. People that don't have jobs are more often to do crime or rely on systems that the government puts in place to take people's tax money and give to them as well. So giving tax breaks to big business often... What would you rather have? Tax break on a business that's paying people a living wage, or watch your taxes go to people who can't find jobs?
And we will build a school because our workers need a school. And. What can you give me to incentivize me versus the state right beside you, which is willing to give me an incentive package?
No, I understand. I understand that you're gaming a system in place. You didn't come up with this, but I'm just trying to.
I don't know if it's gaming. It's just kind of doing what has been done with the ripple effects that creating big business and giving people jobs does. I mean, are we anti-capitalist, Tucker? What are we getting at here?
To understand, so the trade typically is jobs, okay? But these projects don't actually...
Well, no, it's also jobs and taxes because you're going to...
And taxes.
Yeah.
But then you're getting a tax break, so that doesn't really make any sense.
But only up front, you're getting... Tucker, welcome to America, buddy. This is how it's gone on for 200 years.
Okay, well, I don't know. Lots of bad things go on for a while. But I think at some point it's worth assessing, like, why are we doing this? So
you are
on the
fair
job
to do
question,
that. You're doing it because there's a competition.
Well, I
People
run
want
I
these-
run a couple of businesses, and we're not getting any tax breaks. I think they're every bit as virtuous as data centers, but I'm not availing myself.
Just as bit as Alp? Is Alp just as virtuous? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not all about data centers, but like nicotine pouches, really? We're going to call that virtuous?
Of that, and no one's offered, and I wouldn't take it.
There's other ones that are pretty good. He does, what does he do? He does like Butcher Block with the meat, the sustainable meat. What's the other one he does? He does like a kennel club or like good, healthy food for a cheap price. Tucker's got some pretty moral businesses I think he aligns with.
Anyway, because it's not the job of taxpayers to subsidize a private business.
It's a fair comment, but my job is to create a data center, create 2,000 jobs for long term and 10,000 manufacturing at the beginning or construction. And I'm obviously looking at multiple sites, and this won't be the last one I build.
May I ask 2,000 jobs? Okay, so relative to the physical size of the project, which, as you noted, is multiple times the size of Manhattan.
It's just mostly construction. Are those the jobs? Because once the place is built, all those jobs go away.
And the power draw at peak, this data center, your projections, will consume about as much energy as New York City does. But New York City provides almost 5 million jobs. And this project, by your own description, would provide about 2,000 jobs. I don't see the trade here.
You really cannot argue with the fact that the AI centers will take jobs. I think they even admit it. I think most of the government agencies and the ones doing these tax incentives for these AI centers admit that it's going to get rid of jobs.
You definitely got that calculation wrong. By building a data center that trains AI, that provides productivity to the entire nation, we create millions.
Productive for who? Productive for the people who own the data center, or productive for the people using their minds to create ideas? Because that's not what it's going to do. It is not going to put more money in the average man's pocket.
Of jobs, high-paying jobs.
So AI is going to create jobs?
Yes.
I thought it was going to eliminate jobs, net.
Just think about the new technologies we don't even know yet that are going to be built off AI. Everybody thinks when television came, everybody would lose their job in radio. That was complete BS.
Well, a lot of people did lose their jobs during the television boom, and a lot of people do lose their jobs during every technological advancement. But that's not to say that like these jobs aren't good. Is it better? Is it better that we have AI doing things for us? Does it substitute the human being? Is it a quality product? Do we have to do the experiment to find out? I'm not so sure, but that's what they're making our taxpayer money bet on, the idea that it will pay out, and we don't know that.
And the same thing is going to happen here. Everybody's hysteria about losing jobs, making hamburgers or flipping them, being replaced by a robot, that's probably true. But all kinds of new technology will become available over time, including in medical science and biology and all kinds.
Oh, so your rich ass can live longer so you can get a better insurance? Oh, that's what matters. That's your morality right there.
Kinds of things where the models can be used. I'm extremely optimistic. What I'm doing is creating a whole new opportunity for my children.
What kinds of jobs?
Yeah, securing yourself while impoverishing the world. Dude, say the quiet part out loud a little bit there.
Well, I mean, again, some of this, of course, is unknowable, and I want to be as fair as I can be, because I'm grateful that you're willing to talk about it so openly. But you just said this will create AI will create millions of new jobs. You're part of the basis.
How could it possibly do that? It takes the mind and it's substituting the brain of a human being in an artificial form as intelligence to do the thing that the person should do. I don't even know how you could come up with an argument that you would need more people with more AI. There's no argument.
AI, you can't have AI without data centers, at least right now. So what are those millions of jobs? Because we can go through the list that the creators, the people who actually are making AI right now, developing it, we can go through a list of jobs they say it's going to eliminate, which would be like lawyers and financial planners and like the basis of upper middle class America.
Quite high paying jobs.
That's going away. They've said this. What will it be replaced by?
It'll be replaced by new science opportunities, new exploration into space, new
Space. You're going to have millions of jobs of people trying to go to space. Is that what you're trying to sell me? That's a crock of shit.
manufacturing for robotics, for defense as well. Wars in
Oh, so more money for the war machine and more money for people to shoot rockets into the sky? Does that help the common man? Come on, get real.
the future probably aren't going to be fought with people getting shot in the flesh. It'll be one
Oh, robot war? Terminator? Great. Good plan.
set of robots against another. I think the drone technology will advance the manufacturing of surveillance, all that stuff against our enemies, which notably is basically China. So if you think about how, you debate the data center, I think it's fair to do that, what you're doing. But I would be very concerned if I were living in Taiwan that one day my electricity just goes out and I get invaded by basically robotics and high precision ordnance. And that's what China wants, and they want to get there first. Now, if we don't get there first, if we don't develop something better than their AI,
That might be his best argument right there is the war power. The war power of AI and drones and whatnot to get them to attack at hypersonic speeds and move around and intelligent and whatnot. If they're building it, you got to build it. It is an arms race. It is the Cold War. It really never ended in a lot of ways.
and our ability to be predictive on where these conflicts are going to happen, I think we'll be in a bad place in 20 years. And so,
Okay, but I think it's very revealing that I asked you about jobs in the United States and you went immediately to defending Taiwan in the
well,
South China
we
Sea.
manufacture the equipment here, Tucker. That's
Okay,
where it's made.
But I'm okay. Well, actually, a lot of this is made in China, as I know you know. So
But that's
no, we
my whole
don't
point. I don't want to do that anymore. I
Okay,
want to
but-
start making it here. I want to do advanced robotics.
Amen. I totally agree.
So it's immoral, but we have to do it. That's basically the emphasis on this. This is what he's trying to get across. And Tucker's a good boy, so he's not really going along with it. And I can appreciate that. But I mean, at the end of the day, we do have to fight the AI war. It's inevitable. China does not have the moral problem with building AI weapons.
But the promise of AI and robotics is that the robots will make the products of the future. So how exactly does that result in American jobs?
If you're
And
in the
more
camp
specifically,
that
what are
says
those? What are
every
you
job
talking
is
about when you say?
replaced by a machine? I don't buy that. I just don't agree with you because it's never.
Oh, I'm
happened
not
that
saying
way.
I don't want that to happen. Trust me.
It has happened. Machines have replaced people before. There used to be people who were carriage drivers, and now there's cars, and everybody has their own car. There's plenty of times where technology got rid of jobs. That's a stupid thing to say from Mr. Kevin O'Leary here.
really worried about it, almost panicked. But I'm
You shouldn't
trying
be.
to feel better. Okay, then please make me feel better. Where are these millions of new jobs? What specifically are you talking about?
Well, every time technology advances, it creates new opportunities that were not foreseen prior because you don't know the direction of new tech. Think about if you and I, because we were actually around in the late 80s contemplating
Yep.
what new jobs would be created by the internet. And look at what's happened. It's created millions of jobs and advanced all kinds of technologies and changed the way we live to the better. And I
I mean, that's fair. I don't know, to the better. I mean, I work on YouTube, so I guess I could say that yeah, it's made my job.
would say to you, the same angst we had, the same narrative that was going on in 1992 about how the internet is going to wipe out the economy and
The internet has had terrible effects on the country and the whole entire world. I mean, there's no denying that. Some of that stuff we could never put back in the bag. We'll never figure out like what it would have been like if that never adapted. But I mean, that's time. You can't change historical innovation. It will go on. It's better to be a futurist here on Future News Network than to live in the past. Utilize AI, get your money up, get your bread. Don't worry about these old fogies, these boomers.
it's a bad thing and it's dangerous. Of course, people loathe change. That's the nature of
Do you
how it
think
is.
that the United States is a happier country than it was in 1992?
No, but there's no going back.
What define happy? What does that mean?
I don't know. How about the suicide rate or the addiction rate or the life expectancy?
All fair points.
Those are all
Yes, I
upside
mean,
down.
look, there's lots of social issues, and there always has been. I would remind you, though,
but they've gotten worse at exactly the period in history that the internet was formed, and then seemed to infuse every part of our lives. So, if you were worried about the effect of the internet in 1992 on America, looking back from the vantage of 2026, you could say, yeah, I had good reason to be worried.
Yeah, no, that's completely true. But all you have to do is have a dad that works in the CIA, put a couple $100,000 in your pocket, and then like pretend like you don't have a fucking computer, pretend like you don't have a cell phone or CIA connections or anything like that. That's all you do, and then you go fishing. I like to fly fish and everything like that. You live your perfect life, and you marry your high school sweetheart, everything like that. So if you want to escape Tucker, you already did. And everybody else can too. But that doesn't mean that the future is going to stop for you or what you have to say.
For a lot of women, mothers...
All right, guys. That's going to do it for this one. What'd you think? I was very opinionated on this one. I think I gave them both a fair shot at what they were trying to say there. You let me know in the comments what you think. And I will see you in the next one on the Future News Network. Make sure to like and subscribe.